You alright there, ladies and gents? How the hell is it going? I'm out on the Happy Hippo, my little V85 TT, and it's a soggy one. Oh yeah, it's a soggy one. Still, I've got the kit for it, so it's awesome.
Keep that bud from side down.
I feel like I've got a lot to talk about on this one. Not that you'll necessarily want to hear that. But all sorts of stuff's been going on. I get my Transit, my new van, soon. I got an email and a call from my dealership telling me that they're PDIing it at this very moment. So yeah, I'm well chuffed and well excited to hear that. I've been waiting ages for that, ages. So that's good news, and it means on soggy days when I go to work, not that I'm going to work very often at the moment thanks to Furdo, but yeah, on soggy days when I go to work, well, I could do it in the van rather than on the bike, which yeah, that sounds drier and warmer. I actually don't mind getting out on the bike in the rain. I've got the right kit for it, so it generally keeps me mostly dry, but it's not so much fun doing that when you're commuting, and it adds a little bit of time to the journey by having to get kitted up and what have you, whereas when it's dry I can just throw my biking jeans on rather than my full rucker, which makes it all a little bit more streamlined. So where we at? I get the new van later this week, which is awesome news. I really can't wait. I ordered that back in January, so yeah, I've been waiting a while for it. I have got lots of plans for the van. I don't know what I'm going to be able to get done to it this year. I think I'm going to have to save some pennies because I'm doing some bits to the house as well at the moment, and it means that I've got to jiggle my money to the places where I need it, and the house takes priority over doing a camper conversion or a semi-camper conversion with the van. But that is my plan with it, is to make it into a day van, so during the daytime load the bikes into it, go off touring and stuff like that, and then come the night time, lift up the pop top if that's the way I go, and I've got a nice little base with solar power and all that sort of stuff to keep me going. So yeah, that's the plan for the van. I don't know how quickly that'll happen. It might take a few years. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it goes. Also later on this month I am going motor camping. I'm going out with Big Pezza and our mate Andy, and maybe even Phil 480. I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it or not, but it'd be really awesome if he is coming out, and I will be it'll be really good to see him. We're going down to Salisbury Plain, which should be pretty epic, and I'm going down on this providing the weather has calmed down a little bit, and that means that we might even take it a little bit off-roady down on the plain there, but it will be minor stuff if we do. Pez is trying to get me to put the beta in the van and go down in the van, and I think that means that he thinks it's going to be a little trickier, or he just doesn't want to do boring rubbish lanes. He wants to do something a bit more fun. But hey, he's on an adventure bike too, so it's not going to be exactly strenuous stuff that we do anyway. But we'll see how that goes. I don't mind going on either bike, but to me, going motor camping locally, because Salisbury Plain isn't that far away, it's kind of a bit silly to go down in a van when I've got an adventure bike that I bought to go adventurising on. Not that I'll ever be doing proper adventuring on this, because I'm not capable of putting this through its paces on anything technical, and it's not really the right bike for it. So yeah, Salisbury Plain, that should be really good. I'm also it's my dad's 80th birthday coming up, so we're doing a barbecue for him, which would be really nice. I think we're going to have some rain for it, but well, we'll just have to see how that one goes. But yeah, and my old man, he's still a biker, 80 years old, and he's still a biker. He's got the Triumph Bonneville, so that's really cool. I love the fact that he still rides, and hopefully we'll get a ride out soon. Now we're able to get out and about a bit more freely. I've been invited by a subscriber to go and watch them racing. They do drag racing on a Triumph, I think it is, yeah, over at Santa Pod at some point this year, which will be incredible. I've never ever been to drag racing or anything like that, so it'd be fantastic to see what that's all about. I'm really quite looking forward to that. He's going to give me a weekend pass, so or some equivalent, so that we can get our heads around what it's all about. I'm not going to be having a go at it. It's a race meet, so we'll be watching the professionals do it, which will make it even better, I think, rather than a run what you brung sort of thing. Yeah, that should be really interesting, and hopefully I'll learn a little bit about that sport, because I really don't know anything about it. It's so different from any other kind of motorcycling. So yeah, that's brilliant stuff, that is. You never know, I might even end up getting the bug and wanting to turn this into a stretch drag racer. I probably won't be doing that. I'd like to say a massive thank you for the comments about fitness and suggestions on what I could do to get myself a little bit more in shape in my last video. It was really good of you to take the time and effort, those of you that did, to give me some suggestions on how to get rid of my fat belly. Yeah, unfortunately, all of that advice was very much appreciated, but it's mainly through injury that I can't knock the weight off. There were some good suggestions there, like cycling and stuff, but because of the nature of my injuries, cycling I find actually quite impact, even though everyone says it's a no impact. It just doesn't fit with my ankle injury. It would be good to do if I could do it though, so I might see if I can borrow a bike and see if I can cope with the sort of pain that induces. But yeah, that is one option for getting rid of my fat belly. I really wish I could go running again. I used to love running when I was in the Navy, and yeah, I mean, it was back in 2012. I hurt my ankle somehow. I'm not sure what I did exactly, and it's never been right since. I've had physio and all that sort of thing, scans, I've had cortisone injections, all that sort of stuff, but my ankle never really recovered, and whenever I do any exercise it puts me into a position where I'm limping around for the next week, which is kind of a little bit counterproductive. But I don't know, sometimes the pain is worth the gain, isn't it? We'll have to see. When I used to play airsoft, it would keep me mobile, it would keep the weight off me, because there's a good calorie burn, that. But I'd be crippled for the next week until the next game day, and then I'd just about be okay for that one, and the cycle would repeat itself. So it's not really a route I want to go, of running, even though it's something that I do love doing. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see on all that front. Maybe it's time I went to a doctor and got them to poke and prod me again, because it's been a while since they've done anything, to be honest. Cool, it might be a glum day, but it's so nice getting out on the bike, it really is. It never fails to lift my mood and put a smile on my face, which I think is awesome to have a hobby that does that for you. It's very easy to just sit at home when it's like this and mope, so I'm glad I dragged myself out today, I really am. Yeah, the fitness thing is something that I really need to look at, as are my injuries. I've recently got a back issue that's flamed up, and I'm getting massive sciatica down my left leg, which actually caused me to drop the bike the other day. It was at a 0 mile an hour, no one was hurt. It was just turning the bike round while sitting on it over at my dad's house in his driveway, and yeah, I lost my balance, and because the bike went over to the side of my duff leg, yeah, I just couldn't support it and had to lay the bike down. It went down incredibly slowly. There's not much in the way of damage to the bike, a little scratch to the engine protection, which is what it's for, to be honest. Unfortunately the back box went into the side of my dad's car, but thankfully from what I've seen and what my dad said, there's no damage to the car, so that's alright. But yeah, I was very much worried that I'd hurt his car. These things happen, yeah, and on a bike like this it's going to fall over at some point. I'll end up doing a green lane somewhere and it will fall over properly there. I know it will. Hopefully not at Salisbury Plain though. I want that to be a nice relaxing holiday. Not that many of my regular viewers care. I am actually going to be experimenting with a new audio setup soon. It would have been ideal doing it today actually, because one of the whole points of that setup is to stop having the GoPro opened up to the wet weather, and it being a rather wet day, it would have been a perfect day to try it out. But actually I wanted to record a proper vlog today rather than a vlog about vlogging. So this is what we're doing. It's a porker. So what I'm going to be doing is using a spare Cena comms unit I've got, which I got for previous crash helmets. This shoe berth has got a built-in comms unit, which is also a Cena. So I'm going to plug in the Cena comms unit to a audio recorder, and then mesh this comms unit to that comms unit, which should give me wireless audio. so it means that I won't have to have any cables joining me to the audio recorder, which I prefer the idea of. But it does mean that then I've got to be charging up loads of batteries and faffing and stuff like that. So it would only really be any use for solo rides, and only any use on road rides where I'm using this crash helmet. And the audio might be rubbish, so it's just an experiment just to see what it comes out like. But I'm not going to do that necessarily for you guys on camera. I'll just try it and see how it all works out, and if it works I shall then utilise that, and I'll let you know maybe in future videos if that's the route I go. I've got the comms unit just sitting around, so it's not like I've spent out money on it particularly. It's just getting dusty, so it makes sense to either use it, and if I don't use it I might sell it. Although saying that, I really I'm not a huge fan of this crash helmet. I love the concept of it. I love the fact it's got the comms unit on it, which I can use for sat nav and my phone and music and all that sort of thing if I so desired. I love the fact that it's a modular one, so I can flip the top up. Sorry if the audio just turns to shit now. I can't see out my visor, and that's another thing. Yeah, the visor, it whistles like crazy. I've currently actually taped up the fins at the top of the visor, which seem to have stopped the whistling. So yeah, they're anti-whistle devices cause whistles. Idiots. And for a top of the range crash helmet, I'd really, you'd have thought that they'd look a little bit more carefully into what they're actually giving us. Maybe this is why this particular helmet I think has been discontinued, it just doesn't work as described. But the fit of the visor as well, I mean, the reason I've had to lift the visor up is because the inside of the visor keeps filling up with water. Admittedly, lifting it up makes that 10 times worse, but it, yeah, even with the visor shut, the fit, and I don't know whether it's something I can adjust, it just gets water down the inside of it. The seal on it isn't very good, and I'm not sure whether that's something I can adjust out or not. Maybe I should touch base with Shoeberth customer services, because on a very top end crash helmet like this, you expect a certain level of quality. Other than that, I kind of actually really like the crash helmet. It's quite comfortable, it's not too heavy considering it's a modular. Yeah, I mean, it is carbon fibre, but yeah, it's still a modular. But it's, yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with it. I like an awful lot about it, but I also dislike an awful lot about it. And when it's cost me so much money, I don't really want to give up on it. With cheaper crash helmets you can almost afford to do that if you don't get on with them. But unfortunately, some of the cheaper crash helmets, like the Nishua Enduro Carbon, which I was using prior, there's a cracking lid, but the fit and finish of it reflects its price. The lining on it is quite soft and wears out quite quickly, but the crash helmet is so light, and it fits really well. Yeah. I really struggle with crash helmets. I think I've just got an odd shaped head. So yeah, lots of stuff going on. A new van coming this week, my old man's birthday, which should be lovely even if it is raining, and going motor camping as well soon. And yeah, and I'm looking forward to trying out the new audio setup as well. Oh, I've got no confidence in the wet at the moment. My brain is not wet mode. The bike's alright, it's me. I think it's just because I know I'd struggle to put my foot down if I needed to hold the bike up. But yeah, it's what it is. But yeah, loads and loads of stuff going on. I'm really quite looking forward to all that happening. And look at this, car's full of motorcycles. No, it's not, it's full of cars. Stupid people, get on your motorbikes, it's only a little bit of wet. Anyhowsals, those of you that made it here, hope you enjoyed the ride. If you haven't done so already, click that subscribe button, and if you like this video, why not give it a little thumbs up too. And if you didn't, you can always give it a thumbs down. I don't mind at all. Oh god, can't get the stand up. But whatever you do, please do drop in a comment. I love hearing from you. Right, you ride safe, take care, and I shall catch you all in the next one. Bye bye for now.
Keep that bar from us. You know, you gotta keep that bike rubber side down.